So yeah, since YouTube won't let me say everything about my craziness of relationships and dating, I'm just going to briefly break down each one. So, the first one in high school, we started talking. Things became more than talking, then we started dating. And me being the hopeless romantic I am, and still am, despite all the heartbreaks and craziness and weird, fucked up situations. It's amazing. I will never change. Which I guess is a good thing. So anyway, yeah, I caught her making out with somebody else. That was wonderful. So yeah, that ended. Of course, I was just like, I was confused because it was the first person I dated, so I wasn't sure what to expect. And the second person I dated in high school, which completely destroyed any notion of me dating until I got out of high school. You know, we talked a lot. We had shared the same interests. We both loved metal, and we both liked the same. We were both passionate about music. She invited me to the Korn concert. I'm like, oh, cool, that's awesome. We weren't serious, but we kind of flirted a lot, and we just were having a good time with each other. We were just, I guess you could say dating, but not dating, just seeing each other romantically. But nothing really happened. So, come to find out, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I won't be able to go, cancel the tickets and everything. I find out later from someone else that she actually lied and said she went only with somebody else. And she's like, oh, I was going to tell you, but, yeah. Yeah, okay, I'm not an idiot. So, that was upsetting. So, yeah, I waited till after high school to date for my third time. I dated this person that was actually talking to my brother because she was interested in talking to me. Why she didn't talk to me, I don't know. But I got a hold of her. We started talking. We had we hit it off pretty well, even though despite the fact that she still that she smoked and she did drugs, for some odd reason I looked past that and I thought she was a wonderful person. Boy, was I wrong. So eventually, after having a slight oops almost, she miscarried, so there was no kid. She came to me about, I want to join the military. Okay, that's great. When do you want to do that? Oh, soon. I'm just like, well, why do you want to do that? Do you want to wait until things boil down? Because, you know, the whole war on terror thing. It's like, they're just going to ship you over. I'm just like, I care about you. I support you, but I don't know if I can handle this because I've never done this. You know, someone told me about this before. She's like, oh, well, you're just trying to hold me back. I'm like, no, I'm not. So long story short, we got into a fight, and then for some odd reason, she decides to pull a knife out on me. I'm like, what? What? Like, it's like, okay, this is getting out of hand. So I try to take the knife from her as she's trying to stab me. Not very smart, though. I get it away from her. I put my arms around her and try to calm her down. She's like, let go of me. And then she pushes. I try to get the knife away from her. I push her away from me so that way she won't stab me. I'm defending myself, basically. And she's like, oh, you put your hands on me. You know, it's like, I'll never talk to you or speak to you again. Well, that was true in some cases. She tried to pop back into my life several times. She forced herself on me at a concert and pretty much abused me. I don't hit women, so I didn't fight back. I don't know if that was a stupid thing or a crazy thing to do. Come to find out that she had a kid and that she was married, yet she cheats on people all the time, including me, that she cheated on me at least 3 or 4 times when we were together. Lovely. And so, let's see, after graduating high school, not too soon after that, about a year or two, I went to move up to Indiana with my friend. I was really, I wasn't sure what to do. I was just like, well, all my relationships have failed miserably. So I'm just like, hey, I'm going to start talking to people online again. Yeah, such luck with that. So I started talking to this person from Michigan, since I didn't have a car, she agreed to, take me, basically take me around as long as I give her gas money, but I don't depend on her. So whenever she was in town, that she would help me out, and I appreciated that. So we met after talking for a couple of weeks, like months, and she was pretty cool. We really didn't have too much in common, but we liked each other enough, so we tried to see what would happen. She invited me to one of her family's parties. That was odd, considering she didn't know me that well. And then the really interesting thing was, I invited her to my friend's place, which I was living at, and we were watching X-Men, and all of a sudden she's like, I can't be here anymore because something about privacy or something, and he was in the next room, and it was like a side room, but we still had privacy, the door closed and everything. And she was just like, I can't do this anymore, I'm leaving. I'm just like, well, why don't you stay? And she got really upset and started getting angry and crying, and I was confused because I didn't know what to do. So, yeah, we tried talking a little bit after that, but that failed, and I haven't spoke to her since. That was 2005. As for 2006, let's see, yeah, a good friend of mine that I'd known for about 5 years or more, now I met her at my anime convention, which is Otakon, or it looks like Otakon, but it's actually pronounced Otakon, is a big anime convention on the East Coast. It's actually one of the biggest on the East Coast. And I haven't been there in so long, but me and her still kept in contact. So we started talking, and we agreed, hey, we should go hang out since we haven't seen each other in a while. She lives in D.C. I'm just like, okay, I'll take a train to D.C. And so it was around my birthday, so I figured, why not? So we went to the museum. When we basically visited all the museums in D.C. and just had a nice day out. I treated her to lunch, even though she was a friend at this time. I'm a gentleman, I can't help it. So we sat down and we just automatically kissed like it was nothing. And it was odd because it's just like, I didn't really think things could go that way, but it did. So we started talking more and started dating. And then soon we got engaged. She said yes, I was happy. And then of course, this is where things go bad. Well, the fact that she played video games, Guild Wars, which is ridiculous. I didn't really get to talk to her that much. She's like, I'm in the middle of a quest, or I'm PvPing. It's like, really? You'd rather be doing that than talking to me? Oh, I see how it is then. I'm just going to make myself really busy too. And so she was supposed to visit her parents in Taiwan, and she didn't end up going because they weren't able to make their flight. Something happened weather-wise. And so, okay, I haven't heard from her in about, I'd say, a week or so. Like, where is she at? And parents were just like, oh, she's hanging out with friends. Oh, that's nice. She could have called me. So I come to her house with flowers, hoping that, she'll appreciate the surprise. Apparently she didn't. I also found out that she was talking to this guy that she talked to all the time online from England in a romantic sense. I'm like, well, we're engaged. And she gave me this ridiculous crap about, it's not the 1980s anymore, and relationships are different. I'm like, well, that really hurts, and I love you. And she's like, oh, I wouldn't call it love or something. And it was just weird because she really wasn't affectionate. She was that one time that we went out, but like when she was at home, she never wanted to do anything. We just stayed in her room all the time. Never wanted to really kiss me or even hug me sometimes, and hell, we were never really intimate. I don't know if she really felt anything for me after that. After looking back at it, it was just really weird. Such a strange woman. And she was older than me, which was really odd. I was pretty devastated. I even stayed after and talked to her parents. Don't know why. I don't think that would have, done anything. And then after that, I got on the train and was really depressed. And, yep, that's it for part one. Part two is coming up.